السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة نصح الأمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا محمد وعلى آله وصحابته ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فإن أصدق الكلام كتاب الله سبحانه وتعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار يقول الله عز وجل في محكم الكتاب بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. From last time, as we were talking about the beautiful support of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hearts of the believers, especially in the heart of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as he was facing a lot of challenges, a lot of trouble, a lot of problems. And many times in his life, especially in this 23 years period, he was suffering and he was sad and he was distressed because of his personal issues and because of the issues of the Ummah. And as we said, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took his son away, Ibrahim radiallahu anhu, and that happened actually 1 year before he himself went back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before the year of Hajjatul Wada'a. And alayhi salatu wasalam was very sad because previously he lost 5 of his children, starting from Qasim radiallahu anhu, and that was before he became a prophet. And then Abdullah, who was also known as Tahir and Tayyib radiallahu anhu. And then sallallahu alayhi wa sallam lost his daughter Ruqayyah radiallahu anha, and that was on the battle, in the same day of the battle of Badr. And sallallahu alayhi wa sallam lost Kulthum, and both of them were the wives of Uthman ibn Affan. And then sallallahu alayhi wa sallam lost Zainab radiallahu anha. And then now he is losing, or he lost Ibrahim radiallahu anhu. So he was in fact in a big challenge, and he was saying, إِنَّ الْعَيْنَ تَطْمَعُ وَالْقَلْبَ يَحْزَنُ. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my eyes are full of water, and my heart is aching. How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him in this situation? Because it was really traumatic situation. And this is how we know that if we face problems, and problems are day-to-day affair in our lives, whether it is a problem with our family, whether it's a problem with our work, whether it's a problem in our job, whether it's a financial problem, whatever it is, this life is just like that, it's a challenging life. So how do we deal with that? And sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَلَا نَقُولْ إِلَّا مَا يَرْضَى رَبُّنَا. I don't say anything in that situation except for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with. What a beautiful way. Even though you are facing challenges, forever remember that we don't say anything except what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But of course, he was still having this sadness in his heart. And the sadness, and you know, this is why he was mentioning, your separation from us has left us mahzunun. We are all sad, subhanAllah. But even in that situation, alayhi salatu wasalam did not leave any space for people to come and say something that is not right. Because some of his Sahaba, they came and said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, now the solar eclipse happened, and this is because of the death of Ibrahim radiallahu anhu." And alayhi salatu wasalam, what a beautiful message. He wanted to differentiate between Tawheed and Shirk. And he said, the eclipse of the sun and the moon, these are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and have nothing to do with the death or life of a person. When you see the eclipse, go and pray and make dua to Allah azza wa jalla. This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala secures the iman of a believer. And because of these revelations of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we know how to react, how to interact. When Salama radiallahu anha lost her husband Abu Salama, and you know they went through a lot of trouble in their life, and they were the first Muslims in the history of Islam, one of the first. And they had to migrate to Abyssinia, and then they had to migrate to Medina. And these migrations, and with their children, these migrations are not easy at all. We cannot do migrations. We have migrated here, we are settled here. We go to another state, we have to think about where are our children going to go to school. So many things that come up. Where are they going to go to jobs? So they left everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Abu Salama was a Badri, and then he passed away. And look at the beautiful way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught this dua to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who taught this dua to Abu Salama, who taught this dua to Abu Salama. And he said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allah mujirni fi musibati. Oh Allah, give me the word in this musibah, in this problem situation. وَخْلِفْ لِي خَيْرًا مِنْهَا. And then gave me something that is better than what we have taken away from me. And beautiful way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the dua of Salama, and she was given Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as a substitution. What a wonderful change, what a wonderful exchange for Salama. Alayhi salatu wa salam, when he went to Ta'if, and this Ta'if was not easy for him, because this was the Makki period, and everyone was rejecting him. But when he came out of Ta'if, and his dawah was unsuccessful as far as he understood. So he raised his hand to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What a beautiful way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught him this dua, and he was complaining to Allah Azza wa Jal, which shows that if you have a problem, if you have difficulty, if you have challenges, put your hands up and communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Put all your complaints that you have to Allah Azza wa Jal. Allahumma ilayka ashku da'afa quwwati wa qillata hilati wa hawani ala al-nas. What a beautiful dua. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ilayka ashku, I complain to you. ضعف قوتي, the weakness of my strength. وقلة حيلتي, I have no strategy whatsoever. وهواني على الناس, and humiliation I have received from the people. He was putting the blame upon himself. You know why? Because he was called. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّكَ لَتَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. O Prophet of Allah, you are responsible to take them to the straight path. But you know, the responsibility only lies up to what? Up to conveying the message. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this burden away from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That yes, your job is to convey the message to the people, whereas your job, you cannot make them convert with deen. This is only in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ. This ayah, as you know, Ibn Abbas was revealed regarding Abu Talib. And Abu Talib, subhanallah, he was supporting the da'wah of sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And alayhi salatu wa sallam was in fact wanting him to accept Islam. And he was pursuing him to accept Islam until the very end. But very unfortunate, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, no, it cannot happen. If I thought it will happen, it doesn't happen because some people will mock about it." And that applied to even Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he saw this in Ta'if and he was coming back, and he said, "Allahumma ilayka ashku da'afa quwwati wa qillata hilati wa hawani ala nas. Ya arhamar rahimin, oh the most merciful. Anta rabbul mustada'in. You are the Rabb of the people who are oppressed. Anta Rabbi, you are my God. Ila radda minni. Who you have left me with. Ila ba'idin yatajahhamuni, am ila aduwwin mallaktahu amri. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ بِكَ عَلَيَّ غَضَبٌ فَلَا أُبَالِي. You have given these people the power, they're far away from us, and they're frowning on me, and they're mocking at me, and you have, oh Allah, you gave them the power. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ بِكَ عَلَيَّ غَضَبٌ فَلَا أُبَالِي. But oh Allah, if you are not mad at me that I could not convey the message, then it does not matter to me. SubhanAllah, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was supporting sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and was curing the heart, the sad heart of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When we talk about the impression that Islam made in the hearts and soul of the companions of the Prophet alayhi salatu wa sallam, because sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّ فِي كُلِّ جَسَدٍ مُضْغَةٍ إِذَا صَلَحَتْ صَلَحَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ وَإِذَا فَسَدَتْ فَسَدَ الْجَسَدُ كُلُّهُ أَلَا وَهِيَ الْقَلْبُ. The hearts of the people changed. That is the impression that Islam put in the hearts of his companions. And what a great transformation happened. And sometimes you think these transformations happen in 23 years period. Actually, that's the period that Allah was put in the office of prophethood. But how many people among the Sahaba saw 23 years? Not very many. In the very beginning, at least the first 3 years, there were very, very few people, because Allah even could not make the da'wah outside of his own circle, because he was worried. He was worried that they will crush him. And when he started the da'wah outside after 3 years, when he was 43 years old, the first one to oppose him was his own uncle Abu Lahab. So imagine how much oppression and how much persecution and how much challenges that he was, and how much obstacles that he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was facing. And then from that 3 years up to 10 years, up till the time he made hijrah, it was always problematic with the Quraysh. It was always difficult with the Quraysh. Abu Jahl was alive, and Abu Lahab was alive, and Uqba and Shayba and all of this group. And they were mocking at him, and they were laughing at him, and they were persecuting companions, and they were against them all the time. They boycotted him. They threw him out of Mecca. It was not very easy for them. For Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions. So how much time did it take for them to be convinced and stick to this da'wah of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam so much so that today we are actually getting the reward and getting the fruit out of what they have done. So it's not even 23 years. And even when they migrated, the people who accepted Islam, the Muhajirin, imagine how much of respect they had in their heart for Islam that they had to give up things. You know, if I go to the doctor today and the doctor says, maybe you have high blood pressure, so here's the medication, I give you treatment, here's the medication, here is your diet plan, and you need to exercise. Only one thing from the doctor. And that becomes a challenge to me because sometimes I can't, I love food, so I have to eat. Or I have 2 days I can't exercise. Even for one change I can't do. So how many changes these companions of Prophet ﷺ have to do? Tell me about this. Every single thing in their entire life. They had a legacy, not of 3 years, not of few decades, for centuries, worshipping idols. The entire spirituality changed for them. What a strength, what a power of the da'wah, of the revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their etiquettes had to change. Their behavior had to change. Their interaction had to change. The way they used to look at women and children had to change. The way they used to treat the parents had to change. The way they were doing their businesses had to change. Everything had to change in their entire life. The family structure changed. They were bowing down in front of idols, now they have bowed down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their whole system had to change. Every single day, what they would be doing from the morning to the evening and from the evening to the morning had to change. It is 180-degree opposite. How much power can a revelation have to make this change in the hearts of the people? Unimaginable. Why? Because this is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes you talk to the people, and you talk to the newly converted people, and you ask them what changed. He said, I just opened the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I found myself in it. As a matter of fact, I can challenge everyone today here. If you go and open any page of the Quran, you will have a connection with your heart, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is enough to make an impression upon your heart. And then you may think, they got 10 years in Medina. Did they really get 10 years in Medina? When they left Mecca, they had to leave everything behind them. Nothing went with them except for their body and their soul and their heart. That's all they could take. Some of them were fabulously rich. Musab ibn Umayr, radiallahu anhu. He comes from a very distinct family, very rich family. And when he accepted Islam, in Mecca, he wanted to hide it because he knew he would have problems with his family. But somehow this message went to his mother. And his mother cut him off from all financial support. So Musa ibn Umayr used to sit down with Prophet with the ragged clothing, torn up clothing. And the companions would look at him and they would cry because they knew Mus'ab, how he used to be. He would be passing through a valley, and after many hours, people will come and they will say, Mus'ab was here, because the smell of the perfume that he used to wear. And he had nothing. And Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sent him as an envoy and an ambassador of the Muhajirin after the first Bayat al-Aqaba to Medina to teach them about Islam. And look at the change in the heart. Look at how much love they had for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the Prophet. In the battle of Badr, his brother, Abdul Aziz ibn Umayr, he was caught because he was fighting for the Quraysh against the believers. And he was tied up. And Musa was passing by. Musa, you know what he said to his brother or to the other people, to his companions? Tie him up tight and ask for a big ransom because his mother is very rich. His mother is his mother also. And Abdul Aziz looked at him and said, you are my brother, why are you saying that? He said, no, you are not my brother. My brother are these people, for the companions of Prophet. How much impact the revelation came had in the heart, so the entire heart changed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's unimaginable. And then you think Medina life was easy. The first life, for the first year, they had to struggle through. There was nothing for them. They had sallallahu alaihi wasallam made this ukhuwah, and they had to make this constitution of Medina because they were Jews and they were Christians, and they were the munafiqeen. And he had a lot of issues with them. How to settle these issues? He was deriving the hukum from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the revelation. That was the first year. And the second year, as they were trying to build up, what happened? Badr. They were almost to be crushed because 1,000 plus people came from Quraysh and there were only 300. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala intervened and made them victorious. But how did Prophet enjoy this victory? The same day, the Khateeb had asked me, actually we have to bury her. And then the following year, what happened? Subhanallah. That was a big disaster almost for the believers because of some confusion that happened in the battleground. So it was a setback for them. Subhanallah. And then the following year and the following year, because you can look at the history and you will see what's happened. He had to go to the fifth year. The fourth year was the fifth year was the Ahzab, Battle of Ahzab, and Battle of Ahzab was done later. The year before that was Badr Nadir. These are all the Jewish group that we had to deal with. And Ahzab was a terrible thing. 40 days they were stuck and they didn't have food, they didn't have water, they didn't have shelter, and the enemies were in the front and the enemies were behind. And after Khandaq, they had Treaty of Hudaybiyah, and Treaty of Hudaybiyah was almost a disaster in the eyes of the Muslims at that time. And how can you make a treaty that would really be impacting negatively on the Muslims, but it was the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then they had Khaybar, and then they had Fath al-Makkah, and even Fath al-Makkah was not that easy because they had to go all the way to Mecca, and then after that they could not rejoice. The companions could not, their emotions was settled down. So Allah said, no, you will go inside Mecca with humility and you forgive all of them. There's no reproach on them. And he did exactly what was done by Yusuf alayhi salam to his brothers. لا يثرب عليكم اليوم يغفر الله لكم. There is no reproach from me today against you. You accept Islam, you stay at home, you are all safe. And then Hunayn. And then Hunayn came. And they had to fight. And Hunayn also. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions إِذْ أَعْجَبَكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ, that you were many in numbers and you thought you would be winning. And this was almost a point of defeat until, and people were dispersing from Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Until Abbas, he asked Abbas at that time to call the people back to the battleground. And when he called, because he had a very strong voice, they didn't have microphones like that. And they all came, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the victory. And then they came back. And then what happened after that? Tabuk, 100,000 Romans. How can they even compare what they had? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave victory to the Muhajirin and to the Ansar who went to Tabuk by fear, by putting fear in the hearts of the Romans that they did not even come to make a battle. And then, of course, after Tabuk, what happened is the last year of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had the Hajj and Hajj al-Wada'. But even right before Hajj al-Wada', Ibrahim passed away. So every single year, and I'm just highlighting the top things that happened. And underneath it, a lot of interaction, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of small battles that happened. A lot of problems, a lot of issues happened in the Islamic State at the time. So you can see how much did the the companions of the Prophet ﷺ really had the chance to sit down and relax and enjoy Islam and go out for the vacation. No one had it. Yet, they did Islam. Why? Because of the power and the strength of the revelation. And they had carried a lot of baggages from before. But when they heard the ayah, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. Subhanallah. They knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to purify all of them. They were looking forward, they had an objective, and their confidence in Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, their confidence in da'wah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the strength that they had put in their hearts, the love of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. قُلْ إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. They were looking forward for their sins to be taken away by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what they were looking for. So you can look at the life of these companions and you can see everyone was touched by something. We also mentioned Khateeb how his heart was changing as he was going and approaching Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned his heart back away. And sometimes you wonder that why did then, if it is so powerful, why did then some of the people not get Islam? And it is a very important thing to talk about. But let me give you a few things on it. There is an equation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has established. There is an equation that we have to fulfill our part in order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fulfill his part. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about Bani Israel. After they have given them, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them all the miracles, ثُمَّ قَصَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ فَهِيَ كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about Bani Israel. After that, after they have witnessed all these miracles, and Musa alayhi salam and Harun alayhi salam in front of them doing miracles, and Tawah with them, ثُمَّ قَصَتْ قُلُوبُكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ ذَلِكَ فَهِيَ كَالْحِجَارَةِ أَوْ أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً. They became as hard as stone, or أَشَدُّ قَسْوَةً, even stronger because they did not fulfill their part. And the fulfillment of the part is to identify the weakness, to open up the heart, to accept the da'wah sincerely, and then put the da'wah in practice. And those people who could not jump onto the Safinat Nur, as we call it, the Sunnah of Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because they could not put their side of the equation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us understanding the da'wah of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us communicating with him through his revelation, because the revelation is so strong, believe me or not, it will take care of all the issues that we have in our life. If we have the objective right, and if we communicate the right way with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Alhamdulillah, wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sallam. Inshallah, we'll continue on this topic next time, but very quickly changing the topic a little bit because we are approaching the Hajj. And Monday will be the start of the Hajj. And the first 10 days, believe me, is one of the most precious 10 days that we can ever encounter in the entire year. And I ask myself first to be confident in the maghfirah of Allah Azza wa Jal, in the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so I can myself use this time for the sake of Allah. The Hajj most likely will be on the 27th of June, that you can check the calendar. And if we are not going for Hajj, it is very, very highly recommended that we fast. Because the fasting in the day of Hajj is an expiation of sin of the previous year and the upcoming year. So these are the 10 precious days we have, and try to do all kinds of ibadah that we can, try to be nice and kind to people, try to make the sadaqah and zakah as much as we can in these precious 10 days, and try to not waste our time, and I'm talking to myself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make these 10 days as days that will come as witness for us on the day of judgment, and plead to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our forgiveness. اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. الخاسرين. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم واغفر لنا إنك أنت الغفور الحليم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please give space for the brothers who are standing outside. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى. سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهل وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى. سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام